Guten Tag everyone, Stephen Wolf from my Stephen Gaming channel. And yeah, you already know what the title of this video is going to be, so yeah, so in some ways, I mean, I was kind of right that the Switch 2 was going to be a fail. I mean, if you haven't seen my other two videos, I'll be talking about the Switch 2 with the price problems, and of course that I suggest you go check those out if you want to get caught up to speed on that. But if you already have, then great. So basically, it's gonna be me talking about, like I said, I was right that the Switch 2 was going to fail. I mean, because there's already a lot of issues now with it, because with battery swelling up, GameStop, stapling the receipts to the box, which basically staples in the puncher in the screen. Joy-Con drift. The whole bricking thing. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. By the way, I will include all the videos, and all links to the videos and articles will be in the pinned comment. So yeah, I guess I'll start with the whole Joy-Con drift thing. So basically, for those who don't know about the Joy-Con drift, it originally originated basically on the original Switch. So yeah, basically, Joy-Cons, drifting, yeah, which caused a huge controversy for Nintendo on that thing. Well, now it's then migrated over to the Switch 2, and yeah, and they still haven't fixed the whole Joy-Con drift thing. Yeah, I know, pretty insane. Yeah, so I get the way. Now, the second one, now the battery's swelling up. Yeah, depending on where the battery is, there's been reports of some users, the battery got swole up. Like swole up like this, like part of the back of their their Switch 2, I thought bulging. Yeah, that's just not good. I mean, that's just not good at all. I mean, I wouldn't buy that thing. That thing is like that thing is like a bomb. I'm not even joking. So I'm afraid that motherfucker gonna blow up. Yeah, for a few people, yeah, it's been swelling up the battery on the Switch 2. So yeah, but anyways, because I'll include the video for that one. But and the next one I want to talk about is the whole bricking thing. Yes, there's reports of people's consoles getting bricked. For either if they're using a mixed switch, like flash thing, like to back up your games, your Switch 1 games. And of course, someone got bricked for using it, for changing their username to Twinkling. Oh man, I mean, kind of a funny name though. Twinkling, it's funny. Oh man. Yeah, another time someone got bricked for basically playing used games on on their Switch 2. Like, yeah, you just can't make this shit up, because it's actually happened before. I mean, there's like hundreds of thousands of games on the used market. I mean, of course, like I said, the sales for the Genki card things, yeah, they're in decline. I mean, it's pretty much been dropped into the toilet. I mean, the value of the Switch 2 is steady plummeting. It is steady plummeting, and plummeting fast. Yeah, because I feel sorry for those who received a new console, but who bought a console but didn't know that it was bricked. And speaking about the whole bricking thing, I mean, Nintendo's already about to get their ass sued by Procon SP, yeah, from out of Brazil, yeah, for basically infringing on consumer rights and basically violating consumer protection laws. I mean, depending on the country / region. Yeah, and heck, in Brazil, they're hella expensive. They're like 800 USD in Brazil. I know, that's wild. that is just wild. And it shows that, because being anti-consumer is just going to become a detriment. And eventually it's going to come back and bite Nintendo in the ass. Like, who the hell would want to buy a game for like $80? Like, no. I just wouldn't. Now, I know the Nintendo drones, maybe, because they're idiots. And just don't see the bigger picture. And besides, and I even said this myself, that I wasn't gonna. I've said this many times before in videos. I'm not buying games from Nintendo, any Nintendo games or consoles ever again. I just cannot support Nintendo, especially after what they did to Power World, and most notably because of what they did to the emulation community. I mean, come on. If I wanted to my own system that I bought, I have every right to as a consumer. I mean, my friend Evan Tetro mods 3DSs. I mean, because he can. Why not? Because it's his right to do so as a consumer. And I hope Nintendo loses this lawsuit. I hope Nintendo loses. Because heck, even former CEO and president of Nintendo of America, Reggie Ami, even he's roasting Nintendo over the whole Switch 2. Because it is bad. Like I said, of course, the Switch 2, like I said, it's going to be the downfall of Nintendo. Yeah, because for those who don't know Reggie Ami, he was the former, president and CEO of Nintendo. He left Nintendo in 2019, and his successor became, Doug Bowser, who used to work for EA. So at this point, that's when the whole being anti-consumer thing kind of started, when Doug Bowser, became, president and CEO of Nintendo of America. Yeah, it's like Nintendo is just becoming the new EA games now. Oh boy, I tell you. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't buy no Nintendo consoles ever again. Period. The last Nintendo game I ever bought was a 3DS remake of Bowser's Inside Story. That was back in late May of 19 when I bought it. And ever since then, I haven't bought a game. I mostly was playing on it, both Android and PlayStation. But then around mid-September 22, I started playing on emulators most of the time. So yeah. I mean, to be honest, I prefer to use emulators anyways. Because why not? Video game emulation is 100% legal. And I know some Nintendo's are going to try to argue with me on that. I'm just going to laugh at y'all. So I know some Nintendo's are going to come in my comment section trying to say, "Oh, you're pirating." No, because I care about video game preservation. Because if we didn't have sites like, Internet Archive, a lot of this stuff would be lost media by now. Because once again, like I said, a lot of the Nintendo drones just don't see the bigger picture. because what Nintendo is doing is wrong, and it's just being it's abusive, especially their EULAs. I mean, it's like what I told some of my friends like M64 Bros and Evan Tetro. I told them I just think EULA should be that EULA should be made illegal, because not only do they infringe on consumer rights, but they, like I said, they also can violate certain, consumer protection laws. Like I said, depending on the region or country. So yeah, like I said, because if I bought a console, then I consumer own that console. I mean, I could do whatever I want with it. If I want to mod it, I can. If I want to make fan games, I can, as a consumer. Right? It's just gonna set a precedence for the gaming industry. And speaking of, that's why the gaming industry is failing, because of Nintendo. Jeez. Like I said, I wouldn't pay $80 for a game like for a Switch 2 game. That's crazy. Because that's just price gouging. And plus Switch Online is just a scam, man. Yeah, because like I say, Switch Online, because like their online service is shit. I'm not even joking. Like Nintendo's like online service is just shit. I'm glad I would never pay for Nintendo Switch Online, because to be honest, Switch Online is nothing but a scam. Especially because they added the the thing for like $10. That's just dumb. I'm like, at least PlayStation included Astro Bot as as for free. I mean, Nintendo did include Wii Sports for free. They included Nintendo Land for free with the Wii U. They included Face Raiders and AR games for free with the Wii U. But now they want to charge $10 now for just basically to show you how to switch to every functionality of each button on the Switch 2 and stuff. And then you have features that is behind a paywall, which is just ridiculous. Like not lie, it's ridiculous. Like using a chat feature, which is like like basically but it's behind a paywall, so that's ridiculous too. So yeah, the Switch 2 is a fail. It's a fail, just like how the Wii U became a fail. Yeah, because the Wii U only sold like almost less than 14 million. I mean, and it just shows that Nintendo has not learned from the failures of both the GameCube and the Wii U. Heck, the PlayStation 2 blew the GameCube out of the water. And it shows how desperate Nintendo is to try to get the Switch up to be the #1 best-selling console. Well, it's not going to happen. So yeah, PS2 still stands as the #1 best-selling console. But they're not going to stop being desperate, because already investors are already worried about the Switch 2 anyways. Because, like I said, this whole price gouging, being anti-consumer, it's going to become a detriment. That's going to become a detriment for Nintendo. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to cover about that. But yeah, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave a like, leave a comment, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Stephen Wolf Gaming Unites.